sometimes in the voice messages. Yeah, some of the voice messages is really fun. I like that really. Oh, but if you can do, I think I've commented you before. But yeah, if we can do the podcast together like this, yeah, we can do some of the podcast because it's mind healthy too. It's like an anti-depression too because everybody can have a depression. Even now, not so many people maybe have it. Now I don't have it, but when I was a teenager, of course I had a depression too. Those kind of experience. And talking it out is the best way of the medication. So yeah, like an anti-depression, we can talk it. Yeah, it's just fun too. And a good community too. Yeah, we can do some of the podcast together like these. So when we can do, or just a private podcast like these too. Basically talking the same things, but yeah, it's also more like connecting and one-on-one too. So yeah, you can contact when we can do that too. I think that would be great, but nothing offend other people anyways. Alright, yeah, thanks for the comments. I love you. Yeah, love you. And, oh, do I like glass? Oh, the glass? Oh, yeah, I like green. I love green. Some of those other people did like millions of podcasts. Some people talking about the green, green nature. I love their talks too. It's so educational. And I love the vocabulary used. Not my vocabulary use, but I like their and Native Americans vocabulary use. It's like a music to my ears. I like that. Right, love you. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for hanging out here, you too. And yeah, thanks this one person on here too. Sometimes one is also enough. Right, yeah, I mean, some of you, this Amanda, and the other Amanda on nickname. Because we started using several nicknames. The best names we have. I mean, those names, we love those names. So that's why sometimes use as a nickname because it's a lovely, and the best name that we love, and I love. Yeah. Alright, love you, this other Julia, and there are some people that I know, friends from school, same names too. They're all wonderful people. I miss you, and we can talk too. But this one was just internet, some of the live streams, so never mind that part. It's a totally like a different story, like a totally different world, a little bit. But yeah, alright. Segment. So, as our sociology study team, as a sociology study group can be some of the meetings here. We have a meeting here, of course, and but also some of the fun chat time too. Anyways, but this part is other story time. By the way, some other people, when other people share important sad things, sometimes I'm on also mood to talk about, my like million years ago, 100 years ago, my sad story too. Like in the past, but it's a different child. It was an innocent child, nearly like 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 2 decades ago. So yeah, it's a innocent, no experienced, totally different than now, totally different person. A child, and after 19 years old, after 19 years old, it's so different. So it's like a different person. But a child, like when I was a child, this part you can just skip it. This is only like a sociology study part. Yeah. So my mom hit me. But that was a child, so it's a different. Now it's totally I'm more outgoing. I can talk what I wanna talk. I have more opinion now. But before, I was a shy good girl, maybe. In the school and everybody liked me. That's kind of way. But when those are some of the share of the experience and some of the story time. But but many parents also had a good time too. So we're gonna share about that story too. But when I was talking about the 19 years old, some of the broadcast, some of the bad audience, they were talking about the 19 years old, that kind of story too. But those are fake. It's like hoax. Like it's a bad story. Somebody imitating other people seemed like, because not so many people on the broadcast or podcast too. And as an audience, sometimes it's only certain people, but there are so many good people too. So be careful what you hear. Sometimes it's a bad story. Other people trying to manipulate you. Not these important share. You can see the difference anyway. So mine is more real, where I'm just sharing some of the story and our own experience. And those are good. Some are just good fun story too. Anyways, so those are some of the introduction. But anyway, as a sociology study group part, in so when I was a child, so that night, in the night time, those are something I remember, and that's a real. But when I was in the college time, around my junior year in the college time, I was maybe half asleep, maybe it was a dream. So something happened, something funny events happened in the dorm room. That can be, probably I was just dreaming. But when I was a child, at that time, I heard the baby crying, so I woke up and saw my mother was hitting, pretty much like beating up the baby. Looked like it's severe in a 10 years old girl's eyes. That one was not. I know that was. I was shocked. Of course, everybody's shocked. But this story, I've already talked about it before to some of my friends in the college time too. So in a good ministry team, or like Baptist ministry, our team too. So now I can share like a long time ago the story, anyways. But but this story and some of the college time. Maybe some of the events that could be just a dream, or maybe I was kind of dreaming, imagining the things. But that childhood share that I was totally awake, like I know it. Every day I was spending time with my family. Those were the real stories that I woke up. But still nowadays I can still remember, even long time ago, a traumatic feelings. Still people they know it, they all remember it. But talking about childhood traumatic, a little bit of a traumatic event of some other things too. But many people they share the story, and we all have a goodness too. And nobody goes to criminal because of that or anything, or depression. Many kids can have depression anyway, so don't worry. Don't be afraid sharing some of the some of the subject or segment or story. You don't have to afraid. And it's like 30 years ago, more than 2 decades ago, the stories anyways. But still, when we share, it can be important. But other share, when I was around the 3rd grade, where I loved going to some of my girlfriend's house. At that time, we could not hang out with boys, because I would be too shy to hang out with a boy. With my boyfriend, with my friends, that boys in my class? No way. everybody would talk about me and him, right? It was like that. No girls hung out with a man, with a boy, one-on-one in your class. We were always girls are girls together, boys are boys together. We were always like that in the 90s, long time ago before. In my area, in the JP too. So all my friends, when I was third grade in a new school too, and my old school in the second grade, they're all girls. No boy, yeah. And that could be so awkward, so I could not hang out with a boy, with my classmates. I could hang out with my boys next door as neighbors. They're like 1 year old younger than me. And so a little different age. And I was allowed to hang out with a boy next door, so that, and they were all good boys. They're such a good people. We know their parents long time ago at that time, so it's a different story. But yes, when I hung out with my girlfriends in the third grade, one of my friends, she had a big piano in her room, in her house. At that time, in my house, we never had such a real piano instrument. We had only those a little like electronic piano only at that time when I was around 9 years old, because I was the oldest and my parents are still kind of poor at that time, not having so much time or money probably. But they are still probably rich, nice people, can be. I know a lot of rich, nice friends. Their parents are so rich. They are all such wonderful people too, so my classmates' parents were always. But yeah, my parents just moved to that town at that time, so we did not have an electronic piano. We did not have those real piano. We only had an electronic piano at that time. That's the piano that I practiced every single day. But yeah, when I went to my girlfriend's house, she had that big piano. It was a big impact to me. I was like, oh, that's so cool. She had such a nice piano. Oh, my piano is so small, but her piano looks so humongous and nice and black and so clean, and yeah. And I had a piano teacher when I was 3 years old. My piano teacher's piano was also humongous to the 3 years old, 4 years old eyes.